do this in prime time, under the bright lights, for you on the sidelines, and fans in the stands keeping doubly pride high. The gridiron fly guys, the green and the gold, yeah, they call it the franchise. The gizmos, the miles, the moves, the Kepleys, old spaghetti legs, Ricky Ray, Willie Bless, and whoever comes next to bring back the chip and add another brick to the legacy. Cause it's double E over everything. Double E's a legacy. Double E over everything. Double E, we rising up.
Make it 3 straight for your Edmonton Elks. They improved to 4-6 on the season after defeating the Ottawa Redblacks 30-20 out in Ottawa. Welcome to the Green and Gold Postgame Show, live right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports, presented by Play Alberta. Thank you to everyone for listening live on EdmontonSportsTalk.com and all of our other audio streams, iHeart, TuneIn, Apple Music. Thank you for those watching on YouTube, or for anyone listening to this on podcast throughout this weekend. We appreciate you as well. I'm Matt Iwanyk. He is Jay Milne. Your thoughts, welcome into the inbox, 780-218-9999, or you can jump into the nasty chat. Jay and I have made our way from Red Tail Landing to our studios in the west end of Edmonton. Hey, Jay's going to be very happy. I'm going to be slightly happy today as our Play Alberta accounts are going to be doing rather well. You had a week. You had a week.
The Glue Crew had a week. If you were riding with me since Monday.
How good's your memory?
Pretty good.
Monday's play of the day was Elks money line.
Yeah.
Do you remember what Tuesday was? Thursday was Winnipeg.
Thursday was Winnipeg -7. Nailed it.
Yeah.
Wednesday was Edmonton -3.5, under 53.5. And today was Edmonton first quarter.
Tuesday was a Blue Jays, was it not? Did you not have some sort of Blue Jay play that hit on Tuesday?
I don't know.
I thought you did.
No, I don't know. It's just
I think you may have went perfect this week.
Really?
That's what I'm trying to figure out here, is because I think you maybe did that. So August 18th was Monday, right?
Yeah, that was Elks money line.
You had Blue Jays -1.5. Blues to you have a tweet that where you're going cash.
Yeah.
On the 19th.
We had a perfect week.
You had a perfect week.
It's happened before. When the kid's hot, the kid's hot.
Before we get to all of this, I'm just going to say this right now. Jay went perfect this week. Jay has one more play that's up at playalberta.ca right now. I think it still will be up there, that you made on Tuesday during the lock shop.
Yeah.
You had a hot week this week.
Hey,
that's all I'm going to say.
That's a good idea, Matty.
I'm just going to say this right now. I did not ride with this one earlier. I'm just going to ride with it right now because I'm just going to ride your week that you've had this week.
Sprinkle it.
This is a complete sprinkle. Play Alberta, EST, it's the lock shop partner parlay plus 24.50 on a bunch of NFL teams to win their division. I am throwing $5 right now down onto this.
Yeah, $5 would get you back.
127.50.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm doing it. I'm following you, Jay, on this one right now because your week was incredible on all of this, on all accounts. Okay, Jay. Just your thoughts on this game. Wasn't like a big got off to a very nice lead.
Dominant first half.
Went into halftime feeling really good. I've said this week. Ottawa's a team that knows how to make comebacks. They put themselves down by a lot, but they get their comebacks. They got it relatively close, but this Edmonton Elks team, when they needed to do it, both with that late touchdown, but then also on that last drive, which led to a field goal, when they needed to finish this game off, they absolutely did it. Your thoughts on this game?
Dominant first half, and then you're wondering, okay, but this is what Ottawa has done. That's why I played the first quarter. I thought the Elks would be up after the first quarter because Ottawa has started slow in every game, but they have the ability to come back, and it's 20-7 at halftime. The only reason they got a touchdown is because Cody Fajardo fed them the ball, gave them, shorter field. They did some good things, but they really could have put that away earlier in the first half. But still, dominant first half. And then you know what happened, Matt? We've seen this before. The offense starts just goes stale, goes dark in the third quarter. Very easy to see what they were doing. They were trying to run the ball on first downs. Ottawa was pinning their ears back. And credit to Ottawa's offense as well, because every play they ran was a check down. They rarely came to the line of scrimmage and hit the ball without having the players back off. They're trying to see what Edmonton's in. Edmonton caught up to that, though, and started disguising their own defenses, right? But Ottawa, to their credit, came back. First drive, of the second half, eight play, 93-yard touchdown drive. It's 2014, followed by another Elks 2-0. And then you're thinking, oh, here we go again. That could have been the point where the Elks fell apart and allowed our Ottawa to get back into this game. That didn't happen. They stood there. They withstood all of the punches that Ottawa could give them, and ultimately put together a drive when they needed to. It was 12:26 left in the fourth quarter, and Ottawa had kicked the field goal to make it 2017. That was when I wrote it down here. Need the offense to come through. Need some Justin Rankin time. And boy, did he deliver. He had an 11-yard run, 19-yard passing reception, 8-yard run, 6-yard run, touchdown. Boom. The game's out of hand at that point, really. I mean, it was 27-17. Sure, there's still a chance. But the O-line stepped up. The offense stepped up. I saw 2 pulling guard plays on that drive. I saw a screen pass. This is not rocket science. I don't know why in the third quarter. I should look this up, and when I have more time, break it down. This team is awful in the third quarter. Dreadful in the third quarter. I'd like to look up their third quarter scoring. I think you could find it on that email you sent me, but be a little bit creative. Get Justin Rankin the ball. It works. And I thought they were running a bit too much on first down as well. It was becoming very easy for the defense to pick up on that, and they were just pinning their ears back. But thankfully, their second down conversions in the third quarter really ultimately saved them. I mean, they had 57% conversion rate on second down. That is well above their what they've put up this year. They've been well below 40 all year. So that's a credit. And really, that offensive line stepped up when they needed to. Justin Rankin stepped up when they needed to. And there you go. You've got to win.
I will say that I thought a big moment was, and what our stat last week, the big moment was the bend don't break of the Edmonton Elks.
1 for 5 in the red zone.
A defense. There was a moment late in this game on one of the latter drives Ottawa has where they were down by 7, and they got right up to the Elks end of their red. I don't know if they got in the red zone officially at that play, but then all of a sudden the Elks defense got a sack, made for a long second down play. The Redblacks threw, they just moved it close. They didn't try to go for the first down. They threw about a 7-yard play, ended up being forced to take a field goal. It was 27-23. That was one of those drives where you're sitting there where you're thinking, okay, if the Edmonton Elks give up this touchdown here, Ottawa, they made the comeback. It happened. They're now in the lead, or they're right there. And I feel like then the game would have got away from the Edmonton Elks, but the defense stepped up again. And that's the one thing. Like the Edmonton Elks defense gave up 20 points today. If you go pre-Saskatchewan, it was 34 points a game. I now could add Saskatchewan into this. Going into this week, it was less than 23 points per game. It was like 22.8 or something like that. With 20 points, that's going to come down still a little bit. In the last 5 games, the Edmonton Elks defense has given up on average of 22 points. We said it during those losing streaks when they were giving up 30 points, 34 points. Just be a defense that gives up 21 to 24, and you're going to win almost every one of those games.
Yeah.
Like, as good as Cody and their offense has been, big part of this turnaround, too, for this team. And a lot of credit needs to be given to this defense because they're giving this team an opportunity to win. This is the first time, I think, under Cody that they put up 30 points. But you could win those football games because your defense isn't giving up those points. And credit to them. And also, I'm going to annoy Jay right now. Jay's going to get a little upset. Special teams touchdown, baby.
Ugh.
And the reason Jay is upset is Jay wanted a special teams touchdown.
I could have made it so much better this week.
I don't know if we said it on air at all.
I went 6 for 5. I did. I said it on the Hangout.
Did we?
We looked for the odds on the Hangout.
Well, we actually asked for you were going to go for just your play of the day being a special teams touchdown. We could get that done. And at Redtail, as Leak was returning to that house, I don't know if I've seen someone get upset watching the Elks have a kicker, punt returner, special teams touchdown. Because yeah, you were on point. Get on that play of the day. I'm telling you right now, Jay called this whole game all week. I didn't even need to watch this football game. Jay could have just wrote the script for me a couple of days ago, and I'd have been fine to go. But man, it's weird watching an Elks team where when the ball is kicked to them, you're like, hey, something might happen.
This could go. Yeah. I mean, they're special teams. And I mentioned that earlier in the week, that Ottawa's special teams are one of the worst as far as giving up return yards in the league. They had 4 returns for 88 yards, 5 punt returns for 109 yards, did Edmonton. That's over 20 yards per return. That's incredible. You know, you look at the stats of this, aside from the one interception by Cody Fajardo, rushing yards, Edmonton 117, Ottawa 109. Passing yards, Edmonton 270, Ottawa 277. Red zone, Edmonton 2 for 2, Ottawa 2 for 3. I mean, right there, that's a major difference in the game. Total first downs, 23-22 in favor of Edmonton. This did not look this way at the end of the third quarter. Do you know in the third quarter, Ottawa had 11 first downs to Edmonton's 1?
Yeah.
I mean, coming out of the second half needs to be addressed by this team.
I have the third quarter stats for you.
Give them to me.
The Edmonton Elks this season, prior to tonight, actually I'll throw in tonight, they have scored 30 points in the third quarter because they didn't score any tonight.
Is it their worst quarter?
By far. First quarter is 44, which is understandable too. You know, you're just feeling out a game. Second quarter is 53. Here's a stat though of why, you know, and I'll break this down a little after, but they have 84 fourth quarter points.
Ooh.
Tonight that they bumped that up to 94.
That's big.
They're since Cody Fajardo has come in, it's 14, it's 3, it's 12, it's 12, and it's 10.
That's good.
That's closing out games. Prior to that, actually, it was like with Trey too. BC was 7, Montreal was 22, 9 against Winnipeg, 7 against Ottawa, 7 against BC. So just overall this season, actually, the first and fourth quarter are the best quarters for the Edmonton Elks all season. They haven't scored an offensive point or a point in the first quarter only once. No, in the second quarter, they haven't scored a point only once, and in the fourth quarter, they haven't scored a point only once. Like they've been consistent outside of that third quarter. Third quarter with Trey Ford, it was 10 points against Winnipeg, 10 points against Ottawa, but then a bunch of zeros. With Cody Fajardo, is 0 against Saskatchewan, 7 against Hamilton, 0 against Montreal, 3 against Toronto, and 0 against Ottawa. They have given up 59 third quarter points. Tonight was 7. So that makes it 66 points. 66 minus 30, so it's 36 point differential. That is the thing that they need to work on.
Yes. If they address that, I mean, this is a different game. They allowed Ottawa to put up, what was it, 10 points in the third quarter to their nothing? 7 points in the third quarter to nothing. 11 first downs to 1. I mean, you're taking the offense out of it. You're taking Edmonton's offense out of it, and you're putting the defense on. This is what we saw earlier in the year. Now, instead of it lasting 3 or 4 quarters of the game, they've refined it to 1, which, hey, small victories. But that is an issue. That is an absolute issue. There was no offense in the third quarter, and then boom, creativity comes back. Justin Rankin gets the ball. You know, I don't know what happened in the third quarter. And I guess, hey, when you pull out a 30-20 win on the road in Ottawa to get your third victory in a row, some of this stuff you're just going to have to say, well, okay, we'll deal with that. We'll live with that. We got the W, which is most important.
Well, you get the W. You win 3 straight. You stay with Winnipeg and BC, who are winning football games. We'll see what happens with BC and Toronto tomorrow. But you just look. I'm still going to be skeptical going into those Labor Day games until I see otherwise. But if I'm in that locker room, you can't go in feeling any better. And that's the most important thing is you're putting, I'm not in there. I'm on the outside. In that locker room, there's not a single one of those players or members of the coaching staff who shouldn't think that they should be able to go beat Calgary, who shouldn't be able to go, momentum and vibes, if you will, is very important in football. And the Edmonton Elks are riding as high as almost anyone else can be in the Canadian Football League right now, outside of maybe Saskatchewan.
Absolutely. They are. And now, okay, this is the question to you, because that, how I feel about Labor Day.
I know how you feel.
I think they can go in there and get it done.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly do. Because I think this is, how the Oilers, when they go to, I don't know, Minnesota, they play Minnesota hockey. When they go to Vegas, they play Vegas hockey.
They're chameleons almost.
Almost. They'll play to whatever is in front of them. I think this team is capable of doing that. Now, is that a great thing? Or I don't know. I'm not saying it's good, it's bad. I'm just saying, I think when the stakes are higher, this team will elevate. Cody Fajardo will elevate. Justin Rankin will elevate. I mean, look at the defense tonight. 3 sacks. Right?
Yeah, I saw that, and that was I
3 tackles for loss
or something. It was huge.
That's impressive. That's what other teams have been doing to Edmonton, right? Noah Curtis had himself a game, or Noah Curtis had himself a very good game. 2 sacks, a tackle for loss. I mean, everything that you're looking at, if you want to look at this stats page, shows you what winning teams should do.
Noah Taylor, sorry. I'm thinking Curtis, who's on the 6th game, or out for the year. Season. Yeah, but there is, and for me, and where I come out on this, they were expected to do this. They should have ran away with this game. They are taking on Dustin Crum. They have to, really, the last 3 victories have all come against backup quarterbacks. Nick Arbuckle is not the main starting quarterback of the Toronto Argonauts. This year he is, but it's supposed to be Chad Kelly. They needed to win these games. For me, I need to watch that Labor Day series to at all have any sort of more belief in this team than being better than the bottom teams.
Sure, that's fair.
Right, and that's where the Edmonton Elks with Cody Fajardo right now have proven, without a question of the doubt, they are now a middle of the pack team. They are right in that ranking. The question is, can they get into that next tier, which is, I would put this right now, if I had to tier the teams in the Canadian Football League, it's Calgary and Saskatchewan atop by themselves. It's Winnipeg, BC, Hamilton in a second tier. It's Montreal and it's Edmonton in a third tier. The reason I have Montreal in that third tier right now is just because I know they're going to get players back, but they're also not winning football games right now. And then there's a 4th tier of Ottawa and Toronto. Like they are by far down there. And then the Elks are knocking on that door right now for me of being in that second tier. A win against Calgary in either of the 2 games, you're now in that second tier without a question. But they're knocking on that door. The question really is, can you go find those? Like, you were close against Saskatchewan, you're close against Hamilton. It's not going to be good enough to be close in 2 games against Calgary. You have to win one of those. Reed Wilkins, he said it a while ago that the Elks need to win. It was 4 or 5, I think it was at the time. So, which was a split of this series. They need a sweep is going to be tough to overcome.
Yes,
you got to go find a win. The benefit for this club is the home game is second. You got to go to Calgary on the Monday, and pressure's off you.
There's 0 pressure on you, especially if Calgary gets a win tomorrow.
Yes,
the pressure is
100%.
None there.
It's gone.
Calgary should. Kick the living breaks off.
Huss and I were talking about that. The Elks go into Labor Day feeling good with a 3-game win streak, but also as a scary opponent in the sense of they have nothing to lose. They go get beat by 21 points. That people will be like, that's what you're expecting, in a sense. This Elks team goes in knowing doesn't matter. If they find a victory, it's a surprise. They surprise the world, and that is a dangerous team to have. And so the fact is, like, even if they hypothetically lose that game, then you still get the home crowd, and that is projected to be a very good crowd. I should quickly look at Ticketmaster to see how that's going. But that's I do really love, like, some people want the Labor Day one day to be flipped Edmonton. I hope it never does. I like the way it is. I think it benefits a team like the Edmonton Elks as well, is that if you could go to Calgary and steal one, you got to come home looking for the sweep. But if you happen to stumble in that one, you got to come home to rebound. And I love the coming home second in that one. By the way, I will just throw this out there. We have a Labor Day bus going down. That bus just makes it even better. Well, we have 2 buses going down. it's going to be a vibe. It's going to be a party as we go invade McMahon Stadium on September 1st with fellow Nasties, fellow Double E fans. I have another pair of tickets.
What?
A spot. One, you and a +1 on the Labor Day bus. I got one of those.
Should we do a trivia question?
We could do a trivia question later. You could think of one later.
I know one.
Okay.
I came prepared.
Write it down and let me see it. We'll get it. Oh, you've already written one.
Do it right now.
No, I want to wait a little bit.
It's going to take a while.
I want to let people know. That's the people will find it. They're smart people there. If you want to enter this when we do the contest, you have to be able to join the bus on September 1st. We head down to Calgary at about 10 o'clock from Commonwealth. We stop in Red Deer. You get 2 Canadian Club beverages. We'll be there for you to enjoy the Calgary tailgate. We'll watch the game all together, and then the bus will take you back where you'll get some pizza. Jay and I will not be on that bus on the way back, as we'll be doing the post-game show somewhere, and then Dusty's going to drive us back, which is going to be a fun little ride, I think.
Yeah. It should be interesting.
So stay tuned. In a little bit, we will get to that.
I'm going to get to a couple texts here.
Please,
Jay.
I want to look up the Elks rematch quickly. But before you get to those texts, like that game is now just, there's a lot of energy that's going to be around that one because of where this Elks team is. They're 4-6. They've won 3 straight. It's Battle of Alberta. That's always exciting. And that's now 5 straight games that this team has been competitive right till the very end. And the reason I say that, they lost those first 2, so I have to put it that way. And I've won 3 of them. So
Edmonton was
an argument can be made that they should have had 4. That's the crazy part of all of this.
And Edmonton was not trailing once throughout this game, right? Grabbed the early lead.
That's a solid point.
Held on to win. Okay. Nolan from St. Albert says Rankin is elite. I agree. That drive in the fourth quarter when they needed it most.
Yeah, some people should have thought of him for MOP.
Some people should have.
No one thought of that.
Jay says third quarter was a lot of the O-line getting run over. Yeah, I agree. And that's just the ebb and flow of football as well. I understand that.
But I'll defend the O-line.
Get a little bit more creative. Move some plays. You know that drive I'm talking about where Justin Rankin, he came in, had 11-yard run, 19-yard pass, 8-yard run, 6-yard. 2 of those plays were pulling guards. They were moving offensive linemen, opening up massive holes for Justin Rankin. In the third quarter, I don't think they had one play I don't think they gained a yard from scrimmage on run plays. There was a screen pass. That was the 19-yard screen pass to Justin Rankin on that play. I know I sound redundant, but geez, it's not rocket science, guys.
Well, I'll defend the O-line a little bit to a degree. They only ran 6 offensive plays in the third quarter.
Well, that's what happens when Ottawa has
first down. But there's a point where I will say the Elks defense in that third quarter needs to be a little bit better and get off the field like that one extra time to allow their offense to maybe have one more drive or something like that.
Drew at 5:14 said, so this is pregame, Elks need a win that gives them confidence they can control a game from start to finish tonight. Well, Drew, you nailed it. And he says at 8:54 moments ago, he says, woo, hope they build off this win. Let's go, Elks. And yeah, I think this is now a foundation to what you can say, okay, this team, maybe there's something here. Maybe this is a new level of moxie. This is the first time that the Elks have achieved 3 straight wins in a row since 2018, Matt. 7 years ago. You know who the quarterback was then?
Trevor Harris.
Michael Riley.
Oh.
Is Cody
under Trevor Harris?
No.
Interesting.
Is Cody Fajardo the best quarterback Edmonton has had since Michael Riley?
No, Trevor Harris. Trevor Harris.
Not Trevor Harris, Edmonton Trevor Harris.
He was good in his first year here.
No. I don't agree with that.
They were a playoff team. They had a solid, that first year in 2019.
When did Cody Fajardo take over as a starter? What week? Week 5?
They won. No, it's like week 7. Something like that.
Like, how many games had they played, though?
Well,
they played 5.
They beat Ottawa. They lost to BC twice. They beat Ottawa. They lost about 5 games, so it'd be 6th game.
Right. He's putting up numbers. He's winning games. If he had done this, and I understand they signed Trey Ford to be the starter. Didn't work out. But, if Cody Fajardo has the reins on this team from the get-go, this could be a totally different looking standings right now. It could.
with what I saw from that defense, they were not. It doesn't matter. He's not winning those BC games.
I know, but the defense was on the field because the offense couldn't stay on it.
No,
it's a two-way street.
Well, no, I could point back to those games, and I will go back to some of those opening drives for halves and third quarters. The Elks defense gave up the points. That has nothing to do with the offense at that point. The Montreal game, Davis Alexander had his way with that defense. That was just this scrambling. They wouldn't have come close in that one. The Winnipeg game is the one I could give you. Even the team has spoken about how in those other 3 losses that they had, they weren't close. That there were so many problems with that team. I can maybe give you one more win.
I mean, one more win puts this team in a totally different situation.
100%, but it's not like there would have been a massive amount of change in the standings. But Trevor Harris, they ultimately ended up 8-10 that season. They started losing late in those games, but they at one point were 6-3 to start that season. Trevor Harris started off, his Elks career did start off rather well. I do want to throw that one out there.
I don't know. If you compare Trevor Harris then to Cody Fajardo now, I just feel like it just seems like this team is rallying around Cody Fajardo. You know, and you saw clips of Cody Fajardo and Trey Ford on the sideline. There is no animosity there.
Nope.
Credit to Trey Ford for being a professional about this and trying to learn as much as he can.
Credit to Cody Fajardo for being that type of QB2.
Cody, that's who Cody is.
I know, but I don't know who said it. I don't know where I heard it on our station this week, but somebody brought up the point that wasn't you never saw that with him and MBT and Trey last year at any point.
Agreed.
You
Great
never
point.
saw Trey would have,
Excellent
I think,
point,
always wanted to
Matty.
be there, but MBT wasn't the guy that was there. Cody, credit to him. You talked about it earlier today that he had the chip on his shoulder coming in.
Yeah.
But there is no point I think we saw through training camp, through the start of this regular season, where he saw it as an opportunity for him to get the starting job. It was always about the team first. And if the team ever called upon him, he was ready to go. But if they never called upon him against Saskatchewan, if they never called upon him against Hamilton, Cody Fajardo was still going to be standing there ready to talk to Trey Ford through it all.
Yeah, that chip on his shoulder might have been growing a little larger, though.
Absolutely, but you wouldn't have seen
and
it.
deservedly so.
But you wouldn't have seen it. That's the one thing. Throughout all of that, we never saw that from an MBT. It wasn't it didn't look like a solid QB room. And right now, it looks like just a solid QB room. That they want success for each other in a sense while also wanting success for themselves. This is as close to maybe that F1 team that you kind of want or that goaltending situation that you want. But as much as you want to give Trey credit for that, I got to give Cody a lot more credit for that one.
Yeah, how can you not give Cody credit for everything? I mean, Cody Fajardo is such a likable guy. I mean, every time we've had him on our show, he just feels like he's happy to be alive. He's happy that he wants to take advantage of this day. You know, those kind of people, that's him. And it feels good. It looks good. It sounds good. It must be good. It must be right. Cody Fajardo is leading this team the way Cody Fajardo is meant to.
Trevor Harris was the 4th best passing QB, only 8 yards shy of 3rd in the Canadian Football League in 2018. He had a 70% completion percentage, which was the best in the Canadian Football League that season, and his interception ratio was 22-11. He had a 99.6 QB efficiency, which was the best in the Canadian Football League in 2018.
Well, Cody has the best in the CFL right now.
I know, but absolutely. But it's not since Mike Riley to me. It's since Trevor Harris of 2008. It didn't end well. The next season was not good with Trevor Harris because that was the COVID season and he got punted out really quickly. But that 1 year, Trevor Harris was a pretty solid quarterback with this team.
Now, I mean, 2 minutes, 40 seconds left in the game. Look what looked like a routine tackle. Obviously not. Daniel Okpoko from Ottawa was down. Ambulance came out. I mean, everybody saw that. That's tough. That is tough. No matter what side of the ball you're on, it's just, I mean, for viewers, for you watching, nobody likes to see that. That's somebody's child. That might be somebody's dad. Stuff like that. Just, it sucks. It's the worst part about professional football. So wishing all the best to that young man. But look, Matty, there was a football game to be played, and that was a 2nd and 7 upcoming. a very important 2nd and 7 with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. Long break. Who knows how that can go? That could go against the defense, for the defense, against the offense.
It could be momentum.
You
for
never
the
know.
Redblacks in an awful way where let's do it for our teammate. It's just.
What does Cody Fajardo come out and do?
He does a Cody Fajardo play.
Sticks it on Curly Gittins Jr. for a massive gain. That's game, set, match. One play.
I don't know how
that took cojones, man.
I don't know how many people have ever followed Cody Fajardo's career that closely. If you go to his time in Saskatchewan, and I've watched a lot of Cody Fajardo there because at the time I would go watch games with Lieutenant Eric and his brother. The one thing Cody Fajardo likes to do, whether it's late in a game or whether it's like a 2nd and 3 or something like that, he loves the long ball. He has that in him where he loves throwing it deep.
Might I suggest one thing? If Jordan McSimic, I know you listen to this show all the time.
As he should.
I
I think the change of ranking can only be credited to ourselves and our listeners throwing this out there and McSimic hearing that and choosing to implement.
Can I say something that I've noticed from Cody Fajardo, and all the praise we're giving him, of course, is deserved, but he throws a great corner route ball where he's leading the receiver outside. He's not proven to be throwing a great seam route where he's leading a receiver straight up the field as opposed to up and to the touchdown pylon. Maybe they can take advantage of that a little bit more because there's been a couple times. I mean, even tonight, he tried to hit Dunbar down the seam, didn't look off the safety. Cornerback, you give him credit. He had good coverage. But if you lead that out in front of Dunbar, that could be a completion. So, just my thought. But a huge play, and it sucked coming off the heels of such a breathtaking injury. Ambulance, like I said, nobody likes to see that. But to come back after that and stick it on, I mean, they needed 7 yards. What'd they pick up? 37? Right?
Well, on top of that,
huge swing.
Take away the injury of that. Why that is such a gutsy play is you get that's an easy incompletion at times, right? Like that could easily be on the turf.
It was 27-20 at that point.
Ball's going to Ottawa.
Yep.
They're feeling good at that point.
Yep. They got to stop.
It is absolutely clutch to do something like that. It's also very gutsy to do something like that. I go back to Cody. I've seen him do this a lot. It's funny too, because when it doesn't work, it's very easy to be like, why are you throwing it so deep? But when it works, and it works a lot with Cody at times, you praise it for how ballsy it is. I'm going to throw this to you, Jay.
Throw it to me.
I want you to read your trivia question. 780-218-9999. Not into the nasty chat. You have to be available on September 1st for you and someone else to join our Labor Day bus to Calgary as us, fellow Nasties and fellow Double E fans. We're going to go try to invade Calgary to a degree. We're almost full of that second bus. So if you don't win these tickets, you're going to want to get on this very quickly because there's not a lot of spots left. If you go to edmontonsportstalk.com, click on Labor Day bus. EST Labor Day is your promo code 125 plus GST. But for two people, you and a friend or a pal or a partner or an enemy, whoever it is, you could come on the bus courtesy of the Edmonton Elks and Edmonton Sports.
Can they bring a Stamps fan?
I'd prefer not.
I'd say no. Sans Stamps.
That's the only thing you want. Yeah, you can't bring. No. That's the one.
The caveat.
That's the one. If the Stamps fans are, we're going to be like, no, you can't come. What's the trivia question?
Okay. Javon Leake, obviously, punt return touchdown. Your guy called it on the hangout this morning, special teams touchdown. It's the first time since 2008 that two punt return touchdowns have happened in the same season, as Javon Leake has already run one back. Who was the punt returner for, well, at that point, the Eskimos that matched that? In 2008, who was the punt returner that got two punt return touchdowns?
Yeah, it's just almost 20 years ago.
Atif says, Elks are on fire 3 in a row. Bring on Calgary. Here's Atif's keys to success. One was running the ball. I disagree. 2, field goal kicking. Yeah, okay, sure. 3, hardly no penalties.
That's been the case of this team all year.
And Justin
basically.
Rankin, what a player, things to work on, keeping their foot on the gas.
Yep.
And I agree. That coming out of that halftime, I don't know what it is. Maybe put on some music in halftime before you come back out. Maybe have some of them fancy gels that you can have to pump your body up. I don't know. Maybe smelling salts, Maddie.
Banned in the NFL.
Who?
The smelling salt.
They're banned?
George Kittle lost his mind a couple weeks ago.
What's that mean? What do you mean he lost his mind?
He was jumped right on. He went right to the NFL Network. They were right there, and he's like, I almost retired because he can't do some of those smelling salts and stuff. They banned it.
Have you ever tried smelling salts?
Nope.
We should get some for the office.
Are they that bad?
Oh, it's incredible.
In a good or a bad way?
It's not either way.
Oh yeah.
It's equally epic and awful.
I used to have.
Think of sticking your face in a jar of overdue vinegar. Perspired vinegar.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
No.
She gone.
I don't want to.
Well, vinegar is strong.
Yeah. I know the vinegar.
Think of vinegar gone bad. I don't even know if that's a thing, but that's just in my mind, what I'm thinking of.
I used to do Bear Sports Hits, and Warren Bears, who I was going at it with on Twitter earlier today, he had this Sharpie, it wasn't an actual Sharpie, but he had a pen that smelled it gave you a good jolt. You know those good.
Oh yeah.
We would sniff that right before it hit, most days. He would pull it out and you want one? I'd be like, yeah, and then I'd give a good sniff and I'd give it to him and he'd give us a good sniff. So
I don't think you're supposed to say that.
That's the closest I ever got to smelling salts. Was just one of those the Sharpie pens, but it wasn't it was a real marker that we used to do it. And then somebody took it and it was 2 years we did this. It was great.
Snap Hater says, thought the old line was pretty good tonight, but still feel we have some scheme issues around running the ball. I should not be able to tell when the Elks were going to run the ball, and I can. That's a serious issue, and I don't want to say it, but kind of feels like a McAdoo offense again. Am I off base here? Snap Hater, you're not off base.
Well,
Here's what happened, though.
One thing with that.
Look what happened that led to that play before Akpoko got hurt. Cody Fajardo had to pull the ball and run it himself because they were teeing off on Justin Rankin. I hate this search style handoff. Whatever happened to a pitch? Get him outside. Why are you putting him into the teeth of the defense? Right? It just seems like Stampeder, I think you make a great point. It seems very easy to read.
The one thing I'll defend McSimic over McAdoo is we have seen though this year he's adjusted.
True enough.
McAdoo never adjusted.
A very valid
McAdoo
point.
would just keep going at it.
He kept his head in the sand and just kept on doing what he thought was supposed to work.
If Steve McAdoo was the offensive coordinator of the Edmonton Elks, he would not see Justin Rankin with the amount of receiving yards he has had this season.
Matt, once again,
that's the only thing I will counter on that. You're right on everything else. The run plays are way too easy to tell when they're happening. There was late in a game where it ended up being Cody Fajardo got a time count penalty. I said it right before. I'm like, don't be a run up the middle. Don't be a run up the middle. If that whistle didn't go, I think the play we would have saw was the run right up the middle. That when they are running the football, they aren't doing anything creative.
Yeah.
At the very least, they're at trying to do something different. But maybe we need to get you in a room with him because you designed a very nice running play.
Oh yeah.
During the kickoff
It's a
show.
fake handoff, fake swing pass to Javon Lee, backside screen to J Rank. What do they call him? Rank
the tank.
Rank the tank. Interestingly enough, and I felt like Bob Dice has surprised me in a few games this year with his clock management. Earlier, I mentioned that Ottawa was adjusting on offense. They were doing checkdowns where they'd bring everybody to the line. So if you're, I don't know, I'll just explain it. What Ottawa's trying to do is have people make it look like they're going towards the line. Because that gives Edmonton has to respect it. So if Edmonton's in man, did you see that one time Joel DeBlanco was almost on the sideline? Because they were, and I'm like, oh shoot, they're caught in man. That was on purpose. That's to make sure. So when Joel DeBlanco runs to the sideline, Dustin Crum knows they're in man-to-man coverage. That's why he went backside one-on-one over JJ Ross, who took a penalty. We didn't get a good look at it, but it didn't seem egregious to me. Anyways, that's what you're doing when you're bringing everybody up. You're trying to get Edmonton to commit to showing what defense are. But at the end of the game, they were burning valuable clock time because they had to do this for Dustin Crum to be able to get a read. Cody Fajardo doesn't need that. He can read like that. As soon as the ball is snapped, he's got one or two reads that he looks at and says, okay, I know what they're in. So that was a major difference coming down the stretch in this game, is that Ottawa simply, in my opinion, burned too much clock.
There were times they were running the play clock right down to 1 or 2 seconds before they snapped the ball. Like there was no urgency on the Ottawa Redblacks, it seemed, to try to tie that football game.
No,
they were just going down as they thought they had. It seemed like they thought that they had more time than they really did, or that they thought they were going to get the stop against the Edmonton Elks defense. That they could take their time and they'll still get the ball back because they'll get the stop on Cody and the Elks offense. They'll get the ball back and they'll be able to march down the field and get the points that they needed, but they couldn't get it done. And yeah, back to just the bend don't break. I just want to say 2 of the late possessions that Ottawa had where they scored were both field goals because the Edmonton Elks team was able to hold Winnipeg to those field goal attempts and not give up those touchdowns. I'm going to quickly see if I can find the red zone.
Just a update from the Ottawa Redblacks Twitter account. Daniel Okpoko is responsive and has movement in all his extremities. He has been taken to the hospital for further evaluation. So seems to be, promising news for Daniel Okpoko, who, oddly enough, got up after that injury. After that hit, got up and then called for the sideline and then fell down. So once again, just I hope everything's okay. We all do, of course, because you don't want to see that. But it was, those events, those things, they can really change the course of a game. And thankfully, honestly, Matt, there was only 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in that game because I think Ottawa that really gassed them as well.
Doug McLean, friend of ours.
Oh, Doug McLean.
He's texted us.
Hi, Doug.
Listening to you guys from Halifax.
Oh, put it on the map.
16 there.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, Doug. Sounds great. It sounds great, guys. But 100% agree on adjustments needed to the run game. Pitches, sweeps, play action to get a bit off balance rather than being able to jam the box waiting for Rankin to run up the middle. Swings and screens, too, to get him in space.
Well, what worked tonight? Right? On that final drive, the 2 runs, or not the final drive, but with 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter, when I said Justin Rankin time, 11-yard run, that was a guard pulling. 19-yard pass, that was a screen pass. 8-yard run, that was a guard pulling. Do you see what's working here? The simple read option run, it just does not work with this team. I think they should honestly take that, do one of these, Maddie, and throw it out. See you later. It's not working. Be creative. I'll tell you one thing you have in that O-line, Maddie. You have guys that can move. You have guys that have sure feet. Because every time I saw Mark Cordy, I saw McKellar pulling, like those guys can get around a corner and seal something off. So utilize it. Utilize the screen game. Utilize a swing pass. Utilize a pitch, for goodness sake. Get him outside. It's been a good
time since we've seen a good pitch. And I want that to leak.
I want a reverse.
He's got that speed.
Give me an old fat, this kind of pitch where the quarterback's got it.
To those listening on YouTube, Jay standing behind center.
Called the reverse pivot.
Reverse pivot in a shotgun. He takes it, reverses by spinning almost. What would that be? That'd be like a 270-degree turn.
Backwards
so
to your left.
Faces the behind center, turns to his left, but then turns all the way around to basically his 4 o'clock. And then pitches it. You're right.
Beautiful.
We haven't seen that one in a long time. By the way, if you are interested, we've got the Labor Day bus. We're going there on Monday. The rematch. Tickets are going very well. GoElks.com. You're going to want to get your tickets early on this one. The West Side is selling very well. There's not a lot of tickets left, especially between the tens. And the East Side tickets are selling very quickly there. I would say right now we're on pace to be having a high 20,000 seat attended game, I guess, if you will.
Oh, Maddie.
I'll say this right now. If the Edmonton Elks also win on Labor Day Monday,
selling out.
That thing's just going to go. So if you want to go to
would
that
they
game,
open the upper deck?
No. Here's my guess. They would have to sell it out this upcoming week. Last year, they sold out the rematch, but it didn't sell out till like the Tuesday or something.
Gotcha.
They need time. They need to know ahead of time that they're going to sell out so they can hire the right staff. They can do it all properly. if people wanted that open, they need to sell it out Monday or Tuesday. I think where the Elks could then make that decision of, okay, we're going to go do this. To me, I look at this and go, there's way too many tickets right now for that. We should just be looking at, can we get a sellout on the rematch? We got a sellout last year. Can we get a sellout this year? We will have to wait and see. But I'll say this, if you're just waiting, like, I'll get my tickets. You're not going to have a lot of options to choose from. So if you have specific areas you want to sit, you're going to want to jump on your tickets early. GoElks.com. Dusty, Labor Day bus, he just says. Thanks, Dusty. Yeah, we gave away, actually. I'm waiting for JD to come back. EdmontonSportsTalk.com, Labor Day bus, click that. EST Labor Day is your promo code 125 plus GST. I'll have to connect with the Elks early next week to see how many seats are left. But I don't believe there's much. Shotgun Sports Network is in the nasty chat as well. That's Elk from the Elks Herd and the Elks Call. Him and Catherine, I was on with them this week. He's coming on the bus. So he'll be joining us. Jay will be on the bus. I'll be on the bus. Eric will be on the bus. Hernan will be on the bus. Trev's going to be on the bus. Zach's going to be on the bus. Jasmine's going to be on the bus. So we've got a lot going on. So you'll want to, and as Dusty said earlier today, he's going to meet everyone in his suit there, and he's going to shake all their hands.
He's going to personally shake everyone's
hands. So the second bus is going to have to wait till the first bus is over, and then Dusty can go to the second bus and shake everyone's hand.
Lieutenant Eric has suggested maybe Dustin go to the Dollarama or Dollar Tree and get some
Lays.
Greetings.
What would we do for the Elks, though? Would it be an elk thing that you do? You get like a necklace with an elk call on it?
That's too much. We got to think within a reasonable budget here, buddy.
I've got a little bit of fun.
Just don't say that. Hey, there's Farhan Lalji. He was on our show today.
He was. They're getting set to talk Archie Manning in Texas.
What if they just got him? We'll have to think about that.
What's against like the Stampeders? What's something that's a knock on the Stampeders? Like
a lasso.
I guess
we'll get them. Miniature lassos
for everyone. That's all you need is a bunch of rope.
Mini rope lassos.
You just have to cut them and then tie them up, and it's just the crafts project we could work on.
We should come up with so for those on the Labor Day bus. Is it like are we dressed in green? Like, are we going to try? Okay, you go in there strong.
Well, you're going to want to wear Elks colors. If you've got the EST green and gold hat, you should be wearing that.
Oh, yeah. But can I wear like an Elks shirt? Or is that
if you want, Tommy's going to not be happy with you.
Tommy can.
I won't wear Elks.
We're on an Elks bus.
I'll wear EST stuff.
But we need to wear something green.
I'll have my green and gold hat on.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Okay, that's about all.
And then I'll wear EST.
I wonder if I have a green shirt.
I was just, as you said that, and I guess like the Elks had a good game. There's not much else to talk about fully on there. I want to say, do we need to come up with some sort of chants for during the game?
Yes.
I feel like we need to come up with some sort of chants to chant during the game.
Oh, this is great. Smith TM14, Walby's Warriors.
I miss Walby's Warriors. I do feel like we need to come up with something for this bus so that not during the bus, but when we're sitting in our seats, we need to get something going. Like when the Elks are on defense, the noise has to be brought. Do we bring cowbells? Like, I know that's a Calgary thing, but like, what else can we bring to bring the extra noise for our section?
What about air horns?
We just steal from Montreal and bring in the air horns?
Yeah. Put it on them.
I don't mind bringing a couple air horns.
What's a really annoying sound? Cowbells are annoying.
I know.
They use cowbells.
Yeah, but noise is noise. Well, this is the vuvuzelas.
I have a loudspeaker.
I don't know if we'd be allowed to bring that in. I think that's going to have to
Send in your thoughts.
We're going to have to deal with that next week on Edmonton Sports Talk. Between all of our shows, we need to come up with some things. I just thought of that. We need to come up with at least some chants, or how could we bring extra noise for this? Because how do we push the Edmonton Elks to 4 straight? How do we bring a little something to help get the Edmonton Elks to 4 straight victories?
What about EST Elks? EST Elks. Like, you could do something as simple as that.
EST Elks. It just doesn't work.
You could expand.
I'm talking about like finding like a true, I don't know. Is there a way to get an actual chant in?
Like, are you talking soccer chants? Like,
I don't know.
Adams, you suck.
Yeah, but more clever. Or is it just straight? We need to bring the noise.
You've unfortunately run out of
Dwayne from
luck.
the Tway says just go pick up some Elks calls. Come on, fellas, this isn't hard. Do we just get some Elks call whistles on Amazon?
What can we get Elks calls for? I have one.
Elks call whistle. Can we get one of those?
They're a little expensive.
We don't want a duck one. How much are they?
$28.
Oh, we only need like 4 or 5 of them maybe or something.
What are you talking about? I have an Elks call, like the Bugle.
You want to know something? Straight up, we could just get it like an MP3 file and everyone just turn on their phone to like loud.
That's lame. That is lame. I have an Elks
Try to find
Bugle.
cost effective.
I think it's called a Bugle.
Thank you. Invisible_Gopher. Just sing the fight song, boys. Yeah. At some points, we're going to have to bring out the fight song.
What is the fight song now?
We're cheering fight, fight, fight on Edmonton. We're marching right on Edmonton. We're charging down the field for all to see. Shouting, rah, 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 fight on to victory. We're fighting on till every game is won. The green and gold is bold, and when we're done, we'll tell the world we're proud of Edmonton. No, I think they changed it. We'll tell the whole world we're proud of Edmonton.
And the Edmonton Elks.
It's something, but no, now it's like something like "Let's go Edmonton Elks" or something like that.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I think that's how it is. We'll have to learn that last part of it. But I think, yeah, we have to bring that, belt that out at some point.
What about? Oh, this is good. McDiesel says, "What about the Josh Clausen song? Double E over everything. Double E, it's a legacy. Double E over everything. Double E, we rising up." Yeah, this is what we do.
Oh, we're pumping this in the buses. Double E, everything.
They do this in prime time.
But we just take the course.
Sidelines of fans in the stands, keep a double E pride high. The gridiron flag.
Yeah, but think of just the course.
Franchise. The gizmos, the miles, the moves, the captains, old spaghetti legs. Get Ray, Willie Bless, and whoever comes next to bring back the chip and add another brick to the legacy.
Right here.
Double E,
everything.
Double
E, it's a legacy. Double E over everything. Double E, we rising up. That's it. Right? Golly. That's what the nasties are for. I mean, they're just so smart people.
Okay, so we've got some ideas. That needs to be sung. We need to bring, we'll sing the Elks fight song, and we just got to find different ways to bring a bunch of noise. It's just that simple. Ice Cube, we should all just get kazoos. I don't mind kazoos. It's cost effective. Kazoos, not a bad idea.
That's not a bad. Well, you can make kazoos out of a fine-tooth comb and wax paper.
So again, are we going full like crafts this week in EST offices?
I would just say bring a noisemaker. Bring something annoying. We just want to annoy Calgary. That's it.
Yes, that's all we need to do. That's all
Whatever
we want to do.
Whatever you can find that's annoying.
We just need.
If you have one of those, if you have a trumpet, bring a trumpet. If you have a drum, bring a drum. But I do think we have to chant the Josh Clausen Double E song when they score a touchdown. Right?
Yes, I agree. I absolutely agree.
It's quick, it's easy, and it's easy to memorize. If we just handed everybody a sheet of paper as they got on the bus and said, here's our chant that we're going to chant when, I don't know, Lieutenant Eric stands up and, well, Lieutenant Eric's not going to, but let's say we put somebody in charge of running that. Maybe Coob can run the chants. Right?
Oh, Coob would be all over that one.
Yeah. I think we're onto something here.
Okay, that's going to be our project for next week. That's what we're going to focus on next week as we get set for the Labor Day. Because this is like, we have a couple of really good games in the Canadian Football League tomorrow. We're going to have the BC Lions in Toronto take on the Argonauts, but then we get Saskatchewan, Calgary, huge matchup. And huge implications. I think if you're the Edmonton Elks, you want the Calgary Stampeders to win that football game more than lose that football game. We were talking about this earlier. If I'm the Elks, I'd rather see a Calgary team that maybe is a little confident, a little overconfident, because maybe they'll underestimate the Elks as opposed to a team that maybe is a little pissed off. And, if Calgary loses this week to Saskatchewan, all of a sudden they're tied with Winnipeg completely. Like they are right now tied in the standings, but Calgary has a game in hand. They do have the season series at this moment, so they will, no matter what, stay at the end of this week at number 2. But they're going to want to put a little separation with them and Winnipeg and be 2 points back of Saskatchewan. So I think from an Elks perspective, you absolutely do want the Calgary Stampeders to win tomorrow, just to open up the opponent maybe a little bit more on Monday, where they maybe are a little overconfident for that one. But then it's a sad one because now we have to wait till next Sunday. It's a long break. But that also allows us to break down a lot more things when it comes to getting set for that Labor Day bus. It's going to be fun. Dwayne, also saying we could just do craft activities on the bus ride. What could go wrong as we build those little kazoos that you were saying?
Either way, it's going to be a blast. I'm looking forward to that.
As we're talking about this, I'm looking even more forward to it.
Well, you know why? Because they won. Because they're on a 3-game here.
It's the first time I've ever gone to Labor Day. That's for me a big one. I've never been able to do the Labor Day. I've never gone to Labor Day. I've always wanted to. So this is very exciting for me just from that perspective. Labor Day was always, if you go to the biggest sports days of the year for me, Labor Day might be in my top 5. I always loved Labor Day. I've always loved this Monday. It's one of those things. My dad, brother, and I, we'd always make nachos. Sit and watch that game. It means a lot.
Yeah.
Like it's right before school or something.
Yeah.
I always have loved Labor Day. It's the start of that football where like everything is back football wise, like football, NCAA's that weekend, NFL's that upcoming weekend. It's just a wonderful, I'm sad summer's ending, but it's also like, I'm okay. This is here. Second half of the CFL season. It's great.
I just thought of something incredible.
What's that?
Do you know when you put a piece of long grass in between your thumbs like this and you blow on it and go,
yeah. Yes. I never was good at that.
What if I brought a big bag of grass and handed out, because you could just put it in your pocket. Do you know how annoying that would be if how many people are going to be there? 60?
No, we're onto the second bus. First bus sold out. That's 50 some seats.
Is it?
Yeah.
There's going to be, imagine 100 people going.
We're closing in. We're closer to the 100.
I could bring a Safeway bag full of grass. Not that kind. But wouldn't that be amazing?
We do have ways like.
I just want to annoy
media
people.
Pass. Well, that's the thing.
I want to be such an annoyance.
I want to annoy the Stampeders fans and like the Stampeders play. Like, and again, here's the thing: you can't do this on offense. When the Edmonton Elks are on offense, we're quiet. We can talk with each other. We can watch the game, but you don't make noise. It's only on defense. I do want to make sure that we show that no, Edmonton took over McMahon Stadium. We took this over, and we helped the Edmonton Elks get this victory.
Do you think I could? Do you think I could sneak my megaphone in there?
I don't want to say it on air, but there are ways. I don't know. I think it's going to get confiscated. It's gonna.
As long as EST covered the cost of a...
No, I'm not covering that cost. I'm not covering that cost. I'll just say that one right now, Jay. Okay. Edmonton Elks, 4-6, 3 straight victories. We now wait until Labor Day starts. The second half of the season is now officially begun as the Edmonton Elks got this victory, a 30-20 win over the Ottawa Redblacks. When you look at the CFL standings, the Edmonton Elks now at 8 points with their 4-6 record. It puts them 2 points up on Ottawa with a game in hand. The Elks actually have a game in hand on Ottawa. So if they win that game in hand, which will be next weekend, they could be 4 points up. They sit 4 points up on Toronto. That's great from a crossover perspective, but they also still have to catch someone in the West. Equal games played across the board. Winnipeg is at 12, BC's at 10, Edmonton, as I said, is at 8. So Edmonton sits 2 points back of BC, but they don't have the season series. So they're a game and a half back of BC. Winnipeg at the moment has the season series with the Elks. The Elks do have an outside possibility of taking that season series, but right now they sit 2.5 games back of Winnipeg. Next weekend's a big one. Well, tomorrow's next big one too. BC's going to look to jump into that 12-win territory or 12-point territory, but the Elks will have that game in hand on BC. So if the Elks can find a way to snag a win against, here's actually the crazy part. If Calgary loses to Saskatchewan and Edmonton beats Calgary, Edmonton's 2 points back of Calgary.
Gotta love the CFL.
And coming home for the rematch.
You know, Huss said something to me. I know we're going to get out here soon, but Huss said something that maybe because they've moved the saying, the general consensus was, well, the CFL season doesn't start till Labor Day. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe it starts August long. You know what I mean? Because right now, Toronto and Ottawa are out of it, and it's not Labor Day yet, right?
Well, but they could get back in this. They just have to do what the Elks do and rattle off a bunch of victories. By the way, what's the trivia answer? I got in touch with one person, but they can't go. So I got to find the other person who won. There's a couple of winners. And that went into a draw. But what was the answer to your trivia question?
Tristan Jackson.
2008.
2008.
Returner for the Edmonton Double E franchise. Had 2 punt and return touchdowns in the same season.
Pretty impressive.
Do you have final thoughts on this game?
Do I have final thoughts? Yeah. They got done what they needed to do, Matt. This was a 3-game stretch that we said every game they needed to win, and they have. Okay? Are they lighting the world on fire? Not really. But are they getting wins? You're darn right they are. And they're building up that confidence. And like I said, this is a team I think is going to play to the level of their opponent in some respects. They were able to pull away against Ottawa tonight. They had, closer win against Montreal, and, they got a dub against Toronto. I think this is a team we'll see what happens tomorrow with Saskatchewan and Calgary, but for Edmonton, it doesn't matter. They've just got to go do what they can, put their best foot forward, have Cody Fajardo on par, have a defense that continually is improving, and an offensive coordinator that's finding his groove. Hey, anything can happen. This team is now 4-6. That's legit. You're in the talks.
Your confidence of Monday, the Labor Day game, go up, stay the same. I just don't even need to ask, but go down after today's game.
Oh, up. Okay. How couldn't it? What's the line start at? -5.5 to Calgary?
I think that's a fair line.
Yeah.
I'd maybe 4.5. Let me see if I can make a prognostication.
That was a word of the day the other day.
It was.
Good job.
You did a great job with word of the day this week.
They were pretty easy.
Well, you should have just been like, yeah, damn right it was. Damn right it was good. I don't have a prediction for that one.
I'd say 5.5, maybe even up to 6.5.
No.
It depends what happens tomorrow. If Calgary wins, convince not even.
I'm going to say 4.5.
You think, eh?
Yep.
Should be
I
interesting.
think some love will be given to the Elks for the way that they've played the last few weeks. The Edmonton Elks, they defeat the Ottawa Redblacks 30-20. They improved to 4-6 on the season, 3 straight victories. Next up, it is, as we said, Labor Day on the September 1st, Labor Day Monday. Elks Stamps, Green and Gold Kickoff Show live from Calgary. Location TBD, brah. Post-game show, TBD, brah, but all from Calgary, as Jay and I will be on that bus, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Click on Labor Day bus. EST Labor Day is your promo code, 125 plus GST if you want to join one of the spots on the 2 buses heading down to Calgary, as we'll go cheer on the Double E as they take on the Calgary Stampeders. Coming up tomorrow right here on Edmonton Sports Talk on our audio stream, we got the Pipeline Show at noon, and then Sunday, 8 o'clock, audio stream, YouTube, and podcasted. Murray McCourt, Curtis Stock. I'm where Murray is. Curtis is where you are. Zach Tecum's going to be on the other side of that computer over there. It will be the VIP Golf Show. And then 6 o'clock Monday morning, Dusty, Eric, Trev, who's back from vacation. They will kick off another week of Edmonton Sports Talk live programming, and I'm sure a lot of discussion on the Edmonton Elks victory from tonight. Thank you to everyone for tuning into the Green on Gold kickoff and post-game shows this evening. On behalf of Jay Milne, I am Matt Iwanyk. Once again, thanks a lot. Have a wonderful weekend. Jay and I will talk with you on Monday. I'll talk with you on the Hangout. He'll talk with you on the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. Have a wonderful weekend.